Afternoon folks, it's Friday the 7th, I think. I'm useless with dates. Anyway, I'm down at the plot. It's lunchtime, I finished work. We got a little bit of compost down here last night. This is to do all my spuds in tubs and top up a few bits and bobs. I want to top this up and also just a little bit more manure from work with straw and ops and the composted bark. So like I say, just got down here. I'm hoping today I'm just going to tinker today. I'm going to try and get a bit more done on shed, get the sides sort of filled in on roof, get the fascias on and soffits and get ready for guttering, fill in down the bottom with stone. And I'm going to be here tomorrow and Sunday as well, so I'm hoping to be able to get me 3 bays of my compost bin done here. So I'll sign off for now. As usual, nice view, everybody's asleep and quiet for now. I'm sure they'll start in a bit. Right, so I'll be back soon. Ta-ta for now. Right folks, it's Saturday tea time. I couldn't do any video last night. By the time I got finished it was too dark. So I've been down here most of today. As you can see, I've got my compost bin started. I've got the first one completed and started to fill it up. That's a mixture of horse manure and straw from work and the spent hops. I've put it in layers, and about every every second or third layer I've got all the ashes from the burner there and mixed them with some soil, just basically soil out of this bed. Sieved it all, and I've put a layer, just a thin layer, every third or fourth layer. I've now run out of hops and straw. I've used most of everything from down there. I've just got the compost left over there. I'm just getting myself set up for tomorrow morning with all my compost because it's tatty day. So I've brought the rest of my tubs down and I'm gonna do what I said with the manure. I've put, from the big manure pile up there, I've put a 4-inch layer of manure and straw, like chipped up straw, in the bottom there, and then I'll just grab a bucket. Then my plan is I will get me potato buckets and I'll put them in like so, spread them out across, and in my potato buckets I will have a 50-50 mix of topsoil, bought topsoil, and compost, bought compost. It's, to be honest, it's really dirt cheap compost and topsoil. The compost is multi-purpose compost, Richmore. Basically that's a 70-litre bag and it was £3. It was 3 for £9 from Morrison's. And the topsoil that I'm going to use is Levington's topsoil. Now believe it or not, them big bags were £2.50 each from Asda. So I'm going to do 50-50 topsoil and compost, and also from Morrison's Westlands organic chicken manure, 10 kilograms for £8. So I'm going to put a good handful of that in. So there we go. I'm going to put them 3 rows of 3. I'll space them out all the way down the bed, and then in between them I will fill with, I think, to be honest, because I've only got about 5 bags of composted bark. I'm wondering, do I mix 50-50 bark and some more of this manure? Because I know a lot of people say that you should never put raw fresh manure next to plants and roots, but both my granddad and my mum had allotments. I've been on allotments all my life, and they used to scoop up osmuck off at road, off at path, from end runs round us, and shove it in bottom at Tatey Trench. So I'm going to do it anyway. I'm just going to go for it. So I'm not going to put any manure in the buckets, but I'm going to put the manure and the chipped bark around them as a mulch, and I'm going to go about halfway up the buckets, so that at the end of the year, when I've finished, I'll tip the compost in with the manure, and that'll fill that bed up. So the only other thing I've managed to get done today is I've put my white onions, my stauron, I'm sorry, it's either stauron or stauron. They're in. I was gonna space them out, but to be honest, I'm gonna run out of space. I know I've got all these beds, but I've hardly got all in yet, so I am gonna run out of space if I spread everything out. So right, I will be back tomorrow. Like I say, mainly been on the compost bins. Believe it or not, there's 27 bags of compost and hops and gone in there. Oh, and on the top there, you can see this lovely stuff. Well, there seems to be a bit of a competition on who can get the weirdest or the best manure for the worm bins and the compost bins. You've got Mick with his alpaca poo. Well, I think I've gone that one bit further. Where I work, we have what's called a small animal unit, and we have tortoises and lizards and snakes and all that kind of little rodenty things. So that's the bedding out of theirs. So I've got little zoo poo. I've got tropical zoo poo in mine. I have had to rebuild the dry stone wall at the back, if you can just see there. I'm sure if you remember my videos, that's what I've started with. I don't know how I've made it stable, but it is. It's rock solid. I've knitted it all together. So I am going to finish off on this corner down here eventually. Not tomorrow, because like I say, tomorrow is spud day. So signing off for tonight. My little buddies. I'll be back again in the morning. Ta-ta for now. Right, this is just how I do my spuds. Everybody's got different ways. We all seem to do it similar, but so as per most people, the big bucket's 35 litre. In this one I've put 3. They are international kidney, and what I'm doing in here is I'm putting 3 with 2 chits on in some of the other ones here, because I'm just experimenting. These 3 in that line, they're all international kidney. Jersey Royals is the posh name. They've got 2 seed potatoes, but each one of those seed potatoes has got 3 chits on. So sorry, I'm just seeing what happens. These 5 are all Aaron Pilot. My seed potatoes were really tiny, so plus I want little salad potatoes. So what I've done in there, 4 of the buckets have got 4 seed potatoes, and then I had 5 seed potatoes left, so one bucket's got 5 in. So like I said, this is my mix, basically 50-50. It's just what I could get my hands on. cheap Leamington's topsoil mix and some cheap compost, 50-50. Sorry if you're out of the shadow, it's great weather, isn't it? A good splodge of chicken pellets. It is measured out, but it's just certain cups, and a bit of fish blood and bone. All I do is mix that up, and that is stick on top of them. Now, as you can see, I don't bother with earthing up. I just put my spuds in, fill my taties right to the top. So that's just how I do my spuds. I am doing pink fir apple, and I'm looking on the internet for some Sapo Mira and some Sapo Axona, but I only want 1 kilo bags. I mean, I just want to have a try, but I don't seem to be able to find any 1 kilo bags. I can, but they're a tenner, and I'm sorry, but I'm not paying 10 quid for 8 seed potatoes. So maybe next year I'll give them a good go. I'll get some online. So right, that's just a little one on how I do my spuds.